Welcome to Reading the Green and our golf DFS show. My name is Mike. The band's back together because Kyle and Jordan are here. I feel like it's been months. First of all, Kyle, you're doing something I've never done right now. I've never put on an article of Masters clothing.
It still has the tags on it too.
Yeah, don't take those off.
I just got it today.
Everybody that has a Masters shirt doesn't take the tags off.
Hold on, I just got it today is not a valid excuse for having to taken the tags off.
No, I thanks to listener Greg, surprised me. I knew he was going last week. Had made a comment to him about how sweet some of the pieces of clothing popping up online were, but I didn't know he got it for me. So thanks, Greg.
Wow.
Oh.
It looks sharp. That's a really nice look on you.
Yeah, I think it's a good color, matches my eyes.
Yeah. Masters green. All right. Well, Jordan, how are you doing?
Good. Ready for golf season to be here, though.
Yeah, what's the deal?
Our course opens up a week from today.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little late, is it not?
Well,
it's super late.
Snow just left 5 days ago.
My brother's already out today. Their course open. Brother-in-law starts tomorrow. Their course is open. Let's get on it.
That surprises me. Actually, they're both at respectable clubs. I'm surprised they open this week. I've heard most clubs is next week, but 25th is pretty late.
Yeah, lost basically a month worth of golf this year.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I've lost a couple of years worth of golf. Kyle, isn't your brother-in-law? Is he in Pinehurst right now?
He goes Thursday. Yeah, 2 days,
Man.
right? I don't know. Things are a little hazy from last weekend, Mike.
Speaking of Pinehurst, it's on my calendar that the three of us are going to cover the 2024 U.S. Open.
Yeah,
so just
that's coming up quick. We should start making those plans.
Coming up quick. I would say start making those plans with your wives. That's going to happen. It's also Father's Day weekend, so it's easy to cash in on the gift.
Yeah, well, it's already the cat's out of the bag now. The plan's already been that seed is planted.
Good. All right. Well, it's Tuesday, April 11th. We're going to cover the RBC Heritage Classic. We'll recap that a bit, and then we'll talk about the Zurich Classic. A couple of other things before we get going. We talked about the late start to the golf season here, but Kyle, we're in this reward contest in DraftKings for playing every night of NHL. So we got the NHL Ironman achievement for playing NHL every day. And I have no idea what I'm doing. Jordan, it's kind of crazy. You bet, they give you a ticket to enter a contest for one series. They take one series, you pick one lineup, and you play that lineup for all games in the series. And then the top 50% of finishers in the contest advance to do that the next round. And then they start paying out money.
Interesting.
It's similar to the big timers, which obviously is not us, satellite contest for in the live finals almost, but so this is like the poor man's version of that. But they, as Mike said, they picked one. So we had to do New Jersey
picked
versus
it at
New York,
4 o'clock today too.
Yeah,
right? They picked it at 4 o'clock.
New Jersey, New York showdowns. So not even give us the 4-game slates. That would have been a lot better to do from a classic lineup perspective. But nope, New Jersey, New York showdown. So I think both of us, right, Mike? We both rolled the dice and took both goalies. So, which if both goalies play and it goes 6-7 games, we're only trying to get top 50% here. That should be a great strategy. But if one goalie gets pulled or hurt or somebody gets swept, we're probably in trouble.
Or sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I had no idea. I literally.
Isn't that whole side of the bracket is what 3 New York, New Jersey teams, and then 1 Carolina or something?
The Islanders are in too.
Right, just all about New York. It's the New York bracket.
Well, that's funny you bring that up because I was watching with my son tonight a little bit of the Rangers game, and he's like, "Dad, I can't tell whose stadium it is because I see both teams' colors in the crowd." And I was trying to explain the concept to him that, well, these two stadiums are 10 miles apart, but it might take you 2 hours to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I get it. I've been getting into the NHL playoffs a little bit more, even when the Wild, undoubtedly won't be playing in a week and a half. The
Debbie
fantasy
Downer.
really helps keep my attention. We don't have to get into it.
So two of the three of us
it's all
stayed
a
up
bit.
till 1 o'clock last night and are true fans.
Yeah,
the other
Mike
one might have went to bed at like 10.
Yeah, Mike had
sacrificed.
had a moment and then just like was fed up and went to bed.
Yep. It did at the exact point in the narrative what every Wild playoff game looks like is where they start off real great, and then that's the only good 20 minutes they play, and they just get trounced the rest of the way. But yeah, they ended up winning. But I'm happy to sacrifice my viewership to help the team.
We were also.
I'm trying to make this a tradition on the pod, at least for the foreseeable future. But so Kyle, there is now achievements for rainmakers. And apparently, like, there's going to be some kind of benefit that based on the number of packs you buy, they will then kick back some prize packs, or I have no idea how it's going to work.
Oh boy.
I didn't do anything crazy. No, because I decided to skip on the booster pack for this week because everybody knew that it was just going to be trash players in the booster pack that's coming out for the Zurich. I just went and bought a 3-card core booster pack just so I had something to open on the pod for you.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
Speaking of which, I did listen to the pod opening last week, and shout out to Chad for jumping in for us. We appreciated that. I hope you got him hooked on the Rainmakers. But
I think he was interested. I mean, hearing how he was doing some of that even pre NFTs. Chad's seems like he's got an addictive personality, and we should shout out that Fantasy Golf Pod, certainly giving us a little bit of love on their show too. Then following on Wednesday, but it was fun. It was fun to have another voice, and I know Kyle. We talked about there's probably a few other guys out there that we want to bring in and talk shop with a little bit. So something to look forward to. All right, here you go. We're gonna open this booster. Oh man, another booster pack purchased and no rare.
Before you click, Mike, we should probably tell Jordan about our experience last Tuesday that was not discussed about on the pod. So
go ahead.
When it comes to the packs that are released on Tuesday, Mike texts that he got 2 and that they weren't sold out yet. I'm in an Uber on the way to the Wild game, and he keeps sending me screenshots of what he's gotten because he opened one on the pod, one pre-pod, and the one pre-pod was pretty decent.
Yeah.
And I'm, got a 25-minute Uber ride in traffic by myself. What do? I buy one too. And the value was not there. Just put that.
I wish I should have had it teed up to tell the listeners what you got, because it was, I think I gave you like a barfy smiley. It was so bad.
I had Seamus Power, Grayson Sig, Jason Duffner, and Chesson Hadley, which was my second one. And you get a rare card, which can be worth hundreds if it's somebody good. But my rare card was Brian Gay.
Yep. He ain't playing too much these days.
Ooh.
So here you go. We're going to start flipping these open, and oh man, I'm happy to get another Ryan Moore. I think I have a few of those. Those are good. Those are important.
Big week for Ryan Moore. Unfortunately, though, he does not get the premium pair this week, which he has the last 3 years.
So. You're thinking of Ryan Palmer.
Oh, yep. My bad. Yep. I tried to make it feel better and backfired. Poor.
Hey, Hunter Mahan. All right.
Wow, money well spent here.
This is the entertainment. It's got to be a Scotty, right? Like, you can't put these together in this pack.
Yeah, Scotty Woods. Oh,
what?
Yes. Quade Cummins, my mouth.
Jordan, do you know who Quade Cummins is?
I think I've seen him on Pornhub a few times.
Mike, do you know who Quade Cummins is?
What a complete what a complete waste. Earlier, Jordan, I got 10 for 10 that I had done for the week-long RBC, and it included a Cameron Young and a Colin Morikawa and a whole bunch of like really good kind of second-tier guys too. So boy, that's bad. I can't even sell those 3 players. I literally can't sell them. So
Yeah.
all right.
He's been playing the Corn Ferry Tour lately.
I just was doing the same. He missed the cut at
current
Sanderson
world golf
Farms.
ranking is 691st. Let's see. He last played the Veritex Championship, tied for 30. Missed cuts. He doesn't have a top 30. Better than top 30.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Quade Cummins, Hunter Mahan, Ryan Moore.
Well, just one last thing on Mr. Quade. So the last 4 PGA Tour events he's played, Sanderson Farms twice, miscut. Like those were the only ones over 2 years. But then he did play in the 3M Open in July of 2021. He missed the cut, but maybe he gets like a sponsor exemption.
Why is he even in the deck? I know this is the argument same with like Hunter Mahan. How are those guys even in the deck? Unbelievable.
Well, yeah, like if this was like a lifetime card, like maybe, right? He was just in college, played at Oklahoma, but no, if it's just this year, it is a total waste of anything. I hope he's called. You should ask him if you could transfer him one so that he has a digital card of himself.
Yeah, he's probably interested.
That's a great idea.
He might have already had 2,926 people ask him that because this is number 2927, but we'll see. All right. Well, I hope that was entertaining for everybody. It's not funny.
I mean, I found it entertaining.
I thought it was pretty funny. Mike was due for some bad ones. He's had a good stretch here of ripping packs.
I was. All right. RB. So actually, why don't you guys tell me what you're drinking? I got agua tonight, so sorry.
What?
For being a downer. I know. Kyle?
You're usually the one that gives us such a hard time when we pull that on you. But just saying. Backchannel Brewing, Money Baby. Nice New England IPA. It's fun.
Nice.
I enjoy it.
Looks good.
Nice. Wait, is it a can? I missed it. Or is it a crowler?
It's a can.
Ooh, with the old NHL 95.
Yeah, with the swag head cover on it.
I know.
Yeah,
Jordan,
exactly.
Did you see my my Masters fairway and hybrid set? Yeah, pretty sharp.
Looking good. The green one, the white and pink is way better than the green one, if I say so myself.
Yeah, I could see myself parting ways with the green one eventually.
Yeah. I am drinking Ninja versus Unicorn versus the Cryo. Double
Pipeworks?
India Pale Ale with Cryo hops. So I don't. You've probably had Pipeworks. You probably had the Ninja versus Unicorn.
Yeah.
This is just a special version they made with Cryo hops in there. It's pretty good.
Nice. Well, did you guys watch the RBC? Did you watch on Sunday? It was like one of the biggest watched PGA Tour events. Sundays at least in the last couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah, quite a bit. I actually not Thursday and Friday, but Saturday and Sunday caught quite a bit. The weather is crappy enough around these parts, so yeah, I enjoyed it. It was great leaderboard. You had a little bit of some sneaky names popping in there Friday. I mean, not Jimmy Walker, but the other ones. But then the big name cream rose to the top, and too bad we had to watch so much Cantlay, but I enjoyed it.
He is becoming villainous. Like, actually, I thought Rahm did a lot to kind of bolster his character when he went in the booth and just like chatted with the crew and all that. But Cantlay is just becoming a villain, and people are like, was it Sunday?
They booed him.
He got booed on the ninth green. He backed off a putt and they booed him.
Yeah, well, it took him over 60 seconds to do a 4-foot putt. And he got booed when he backed off after the first 45 seconds.
Yeah.
But like his biggest issue, I think it would be better if he was actually like walking around doing it most of that time is spent standing over the ball.
Yeah, he does the little shuffling and the
he literally
milking
stood
the
over
grip.
that putt for 25 seconds, and then he backed off.
Yep.
And then he goes back up, and it's another 25 seconds, and then he can putt it.
No Laying Up talked about that exact thing, Jordan, and that's the reason Cantlay gets so much more grief than some of the others. Yes, he's slower than almost anyone, but even some of the other ones that are slow, like Spieth, you at least can hear him and Geller talk through what he's thinking about and why they're taking their time with something. Cantlay is a mute. He's not talking to his caddy about it. It's just he's internalizing it all. So I mean, he could take the same 3 minutes for a shot as somebody else, but they talk, and it's going to be more entertaining.
Is he actually thinking about it, or is he just got like a nervous tick? Because it's like if you're standing over it, right, you're not reading the putt anymore. All you're doing is like thinking about like, is this going to go in? Do I have the right line? Do I have the right line? Am I comfortable? Right? Like that's it's frustrating.
Well, I'm sure it's very frustrating for everyone that played with him. Fitzpatrick talked about how he kind of like gets all of his pre-shot work done before it's his turn, and then he just steps up and hits it. Yeah. And I think that's why, go back to the U.S. Open, why people thought he hit that shot from the bunker on 18 so quickly, but it's probably because you didn't have to watch him on camera go through all this stuff. He already done it. And I like to think I play this similarly. Like I'm just ready to putt when it's my turn to putt. Doesn't mean I don't try to figure out what I'm supposed to do.
You brought up something else there, Mike, the on-camera piece. Do we think the networks are starting to lean into the Cantlay stuff a little bit, like in showing more of it? And then the little comments, there was a couple at the Masters too, like Nance's, like Brooks rolled into the CW, the crosswalk or whatever.
Sure.
But then they had a couple little snide remarks like that about Cantlay, like, taking our time here as they show Cantlay and then transitioning to something else. But
he did hit a ridiculous chip shot off the wood retaining wall on whatever hole that was. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
After 9 minutes.
Yeah, well, I know. I'm just saying it was pretty cool.
Took him 9 minutes.
It's probably damn close. It was a long time. It was over 5.
Well, this that was more time I wanted to spend talking about Cantlay and his slowness, but it's becoming a great theme until it's not. But the other thing I'll say is that the playoff was awesome. I wanted Spieth to win. Fitzpatrick helped me more betting wise, but I wanted Spieth to win, and this just goes to show if you gotta close guys out when you have a chance. You gotta close guys out because it's golf. Like all it's gonna take is one hero shot, one bad break, and you're gonna have cost yourself the tournament. And Spieth had 3 opportunities to do it and couldn't do it.
I'm not sure how that one putt didn't go in though. I thought it was in.
Yeah. I know. And Cantlay had made this was the same putt that Cantlay had just made at the end of regulation, but yeah, I mean Fitzpatrick obviously just so clutch on that 9-iron on the 3rd hole, but super fun. It was very fun to watch. Listener League, Ness 0163 wins, so finished 3rd place last week, and Ness comes up with the W back to back. And then Kyle, we have a guest host on and gets us a little bit of maybe into a few new audiences, a little bit of new blood in the Listener League, with then King Jake 53 and Ed the Mundo taking down 2nd and 3rd. How do you feel about losing your money to some newbies?
Well, we haven't exactly won money in the Listener League this year.
Yeah, but I liked losing it to loyal listeners. I hope these guys are loyal listeners.
Yeah, I hope so. I will say, listener Derek, we talk about him a lot. He's been he's either been in the money or real close last 2 events, and he was up there but dropped like a rock on Sunday too. I believe one of those guys only had a 5 of 6 and beat several 6 of 6s. So it's we got to watch out. We might have some sharps creeping in our water here.
As far as the models, I think it was a pretty solid model week this week. Again, our power index continues to roll. If you are watching anyone that rank out above 80 on our power index, we're setting a pretty high floor there. So that was another good week. Biggest landmine for me. Well, first of all, best expert was Chris Durrell from Daily Fantasy Sports Network, and gutsiest play goes to Mr. Campbell from Fantasy Data with Jordan Spieth. So only one mention on Jordan Spieth this week. That was kind of interesting. For again, we just don't like to play guys that are going to defend their title. Kyle, biggest landmine for me was JT Poston. You just put a moratorium on JT Poston, as you did Tom Hoagie. For me, we're done. Those guys get steam. We're done.
Well, yeah, we can't. I think we're just better off staying away from our boys, especially if they're in that like 25, 30%, right at the edge of our sweet spot. Granted, JTP was higher than that this week, but it's like we're better off playing our guys when everyone else isn't on them. Then we can make that sneaky play of like, hey, this is a good week there.
I think you're right.
That's the angle.
I was I said this to Chad last week. I said Tom Hoagie got the kiss of death, right? He got the kiss of death from our one tout that can't seem to make cuts. And so I stayed off him. He was climbing up our model, and I stayed off him. And then he opened with a nice little 75 and didn't look back.
It was almost overall, like I think I sent you guys some screenshots at the end of the day, Friday. The week was looking really good for a point in time, but just we've had some rough Saturdays, like 2-3 months straight here of we're looking great on Fridays. We get a lot of 6 of 6 through. We need some better Saturday luck. So we gotta figure out something to change that.
All right. Rally caps. Jordan, final thoughts, RBC, you got one and done update?
Yeah, one and done. We had someone pick Fitzpatrick. Newberg takes home 3.6 million.
That helps.
That's a big chunk of change, one of those elevated events. Book had two people with Spieth. Book was one of them, and Iowa State Cyclones. Iowa State Clones. So they each got 2.1, and then there were 4 of us with Patrick Cantlay for another 1.3. And I say us because I was included in that. Yes,
you're creeping up to that top 5, Jordan.
Yeah, and I see Mike here. You got Scotty Scheffler. You kind of blew your load here on Scheffler, and he did not catch it in his mouth.
Jeez, you
I don't even see you on here. Oh, RTG Kyle. Victor Hovland. You got $44,000. That's good.
That's one last thing we need to talk about is Victor Hovland when Jordan's done with the one and done piece. Go ahead.
And all those other jokes that he's got after he saw that Quade card.
Anything else on the one and done?
For that year to date, Jacob King and Derek Howard are both over 11.5 million. And then there's a bit of a gap. There's currently 7 people less than 5 million out of the lead. So as we saw this week, you can get a winner that's 3.6 million and you are right back in it. We're looking down towards the bottom. These people might be running out of time and money. Our last place person has a plus 18 scored a par for the year.
Whoops. You're not gonna call it a name there?
No, because it's his full name and I don't know him. So
fair enough.
Yeah. Oh wait, I guess the person that bought you the polo is a plus 64, but actually has more money than the guy that's plus 18. So listener Greg, you suck at one and done.
So Victor Hovland, I bet Victor Hovland this past week at RBC, and there was 10 groups left that didn't finish their round. Victor Hovland was in the clubhouse 7 under, looks just great. But Aaron Rye came out and had an 11-footer for birdie on 16, makes that par 17, and then birdie's 18 to get to 8 under and take away my first round leader at 40-1, which, okay, whatever. I had a lot of Aaron Rye in my DFS lineups. But then he just throws it in reverse from there for the rest of the weekend, and I'm pretty sure he finished like 66th. So he is on my list.
Hovland threw it in reverse too. He stalled out on Friday and he shot 78 on Saturday. So
yeah, again Saturdays just killing us.
I know,
anyway,
I know. Okay. All right, Jordan, you're on the spot. We have a team event at TPC Louisiana, the Zurich Classic. What are your tips for team golf? You seem like you have the most tenure here as a team golfer. What are your tips for team golf? Two-man
Pick
teams.
teams that have pick teams that have two good players.
I mean, but like you as like a player, like what are you looking for?
I don't know. It's interesting. Like,
Do you have to
What kind of
match
partner
White
do you
Claw
want?
consumption or what?
you know what? It's all about having someone you have some like chemistry with, right? Like Kyle and I would probably make pretty good partners because neither of us give a fuck. So like if he hits a bad shot, I'd just laugh at him. If I hit one, he'd laugh at me. Versus Mike, if I hit a bad shot, I know you might laugh at it, but you'd be like, this fucking idiot.
Just wait till we play in our swag series.
I know we've got one coming up. We'll see.
Just depends if I get good Jordan or not.
But yeah, no, I think that's like if you have some chemistry, have some fun. Who's the one group that always plays together here?
So like Cantlay and Shoffley.
Yeah, they don't
Burns
seem
and
like
Horschel.
No,
they
we
don't
have
seem like
some.
fun.
We have some new people this year. It's a little.
It's a little
after
different.
2 elevated events, we got some shakeup.
Yeah. No, but I think I mean, you see the SH Kim and Byung Hoon An, right? Like people are countrymen teaming up, or things like that. I think it benefits you. I don't know if I'll pick Matt Fitzpatrick and Alex Fitzpatrick because Alex isn't a good golfer and is only in this because his brother invited him.
There are some questionable ones where you do say, well, how did these guys hook up? Like, how did Keith Mitchell and Sung JM? Like, what's the backstory there?
Yeah, that's definitely one thing that if you're going to put some time in this week, I think I would look into a little bit more. Obviously, we already put the consensus together of what the experts are saying for you, but then you can cross-check their work a little bit. Dig in. If it's just the guy has the same agent and they don't play rounds together very often, maybe that's a pairing to stay away from.
For sure. Well, we get
what I really want to know is there are 4 Kims, but only 2 of them are partnered up. So like, did Tom Kim and Siwoo Kim like call each other and be like, oh, we got to pair up. I don't want to be paired with Michael Kim, and I know he wants to be with another Kim, and then poor SH Kim gets stuck with someone else. Like, you think there was some plotting there? It's like, oh, we got to Tom, we got to play together. We got to play together.
Well, if you're SH and Michael Kim and you hear about the other Kims playing together, how do you guys not match up?
Yeah.
SH Kim, I get he wants to go play with Benny on. That's close. He's getting some love this week. We'll get there. But I would let's have a matchup, square off the Kims. And then the tour should have put all 4 of those together in the same
group.
Yes,
for sure. That would have been a broadcaster's nightmare.
Who passes to Kim, and they make a birdie.
So the format, obviously, this is 2-man teams. So Thursday, Saturday, you get 4-ball. So you'll play a best ball of the 2 scores on each hole. And then Friday, Sunday, you have foursomes. Top 30 teams make the cut out of, 80 teams? So it actually is a pretty slim cut line. So expect to have a lot of 4 of 6 lineups this week. It's going to be tough to get to 6. If you get to 6, you're probably in pretty good shape. So with that, Kyle, what's the RTG model look like this week?
Different week. We have some people getting a little lazy on us, taking the time off as we do. Like now, Pat Mayo, for example, I know he's coming off. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with the amount of people that are putting content out on a fun event. It's nice to have something a little different from time to time. So far, I don't think this would surprise anyone. I think even Jordan, we could guess who's leading the way in the model. Could have guessed who was leading the way.
No, he would have had to listen and know who won last year.
I would have just had to know who was playing. And then I probably would have guessed the most expensive person, but.
So we have Patrick Cantlay and Xander Shoffley leading the way. 50% mention share. MPI will be interesting to follow this week with a little bit less contributors. So we'll try to put a little color around that for you tomorrow on our Twitter page when we put that out. But they're still pretty strong at this point in time. Behind them, we talked about this crew, but Benny Ann and S.H. Kim. And that one surprised me a little bit. Only coming in at 7,100. We're going to need savings, especially if you go up to Cantlay and Shoffley. But 42% mention share. Like, that is head and shoulders above the rest of the pack. So that's interesting. Another group to keep an eye on. And then we have a bunch coming in at 28% right now. Billy Horschel and Sam Burns, who do have some great history here, played together a lot. Billy Horschel had won an event here as an individual before they did the team thing. He's won the team thing. So even though he's playing awful, to be quite frank, I think they're going to garner a lot of love this week with Sam Burns, the local boy in Louisiana. So it makes sense. Kirk Kitayama and Taylor Montgomery is another team at 28%. I do like them. They're someone I try to look at from a betting standpoint, but the number got a little light, but they can play with the big boys. They've hung in elevated events. Kurt won one, obviously, and Taylor can get hot with the putter, so I think that makes a lot of sense. And then Mike and Jordan, you're gonna love when I try to say these names, but Bjorn Olesen and Nikolai Hodgegard at 7,900.
Like, are you even trying?
No, I thought I did pretty good on the first one, so in my mind I'm like, well, I can't do good on the second one, so yeah.
I don't get it, Kyle. I don't like. Is this growing up in Iowa? Is this how Derek pronounces names too, and Heather?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Iowa, man. We're not exposed to much.
I grew up in South Dakota. I can still pronounce people's names.
Well, just even I wasn't gonna comment, but now I feel like I have to. I mean, he's been Benny on and Benny Ann at different points in the show so far. So like,
yeah, yeah, that's a good point. So.
On that team, on team on and team Kim, I was looking for a stat profile because I was just trying to figure out like why are they getting this team, and here we have Landon Selinsky saying. Benon coming off a T6 at the Valero is actually the 7th ranked player in strokes gained tee to green in this field and the 12th in strokes gained total over the past 12 rounds. So fairly short history, but if you're looking over the last basically 3 to 5 events, he's been playing really well. So I think the experts are setting Benon's floor pretty high right now, and SH Kim has been pretty good too. But
yeah,
we'll see. You're right. I'm a little skeptical, but we'll see.
Good content there, Mike. And something I should have hit on a little bit. This week, everyone has their models they run, and I don't know if you can take as much value in it, but what you are looking at, if you're looking at one of those, is it's going to be a birdie fest. You want guys that can go low, especially in the 4-ball. They're going to have to put up a lot of birdies. So you need guys that can birdie, not just save par. It's flat, it's swampy, it's the flattest course on the PGA Tour. And yep, Jordan hit on this, but you're looking for people with some good team vibes. Not everyone can play with Patrick Cantlay. Xander Schauffele can, and including you can go to some wineries with him too.
So as far as plays go, like that's an interesting point because I look at like our MPI right now, and we didn't get down this far in the model, but like Team Hadwin and Taylor. Nick Taylor's been playing awesome, and they're getting some steam because from a power index because McClure's on them this week. But I don't know that they strike me as really high ceiling, make a ton of birdies type players like you would get out of Kitayama and Montgomery, for example. I mean, Montgomery is a fantastic putter. And how good can he be when he gets a chance to just take a run at a bunch of things because Kitayama's already in for whatever? And I think those are the dynamics that's tough to figure out because you're right. Like, this is all about shooting 60 in the 4-ball. And you got to make a lot of birdies and have guys that can really roll them in. So, yeah,
I really like that. Like Kitayama and Taylor Montgomery. Do I think they're going to win? No. But 9,100, they could be the second team in for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else that you like this week?
Yeah, just some of the other. I have a pretty short betting card overall, but I did take Nick Hardy and Davis Riley. Modeled well by some of the expert articles we looked at. There's someone that popped on this type of course. Riley was 4th here last year. Granted, he played with a much better player than Nick Hardy because he played with Will Zalatoris. But some decent history, and I think there can be there are guys that can draft on each other pretty well. Nick Hardy isn't a great putter, but Davis Riley has shown the ability to pop from the putter. He was great tee to green last week. He just couldn't make anything. So hopefully he comes around on that side of it, and they're a pair that can save you some money and do some damage.
Is Nick Hardy using the wrong putter? Is that what I heard you just say? He's not a good putter, so he might be using the wrong putter?
I might have shared some strokes gain data since approximately, I think, like last October for Nick Hardy, and it's not pretty. I don't know what's going on.
Jordan
one
knows.
one good tournament last year, and it was all the rage, and then his putting went back to shit.
So it's not an equipment issue, Jordan?
Well, I don't think he's a good golfer to begin with. So maybe a new putter would help him for a couple rounds.
Okay. He's a swag guy. Is he not using a swag putter in the tournaments? Okay, never mind.
He's always been a bad putter. It hasn't been just in swag, but yeah, he can use some help with his putting. And then another one that isn't getting a ton of love in the model so far, but we'll see if they pop up as we go, is Hayden Buckley. I mean, they're at 21% in JJ Spawn. They're on my betting card as well. And right now, doing pretty well for us and on the MPI. Hayden Buckley had a good week last week. Spawn has shown the ability to pop and hang with the big boys. So I think they can be there if some of the top groups falter, if Cantlay, Shoffley, somebody like that, Morikawa, Homa don't get it done. I'm trying to find that next level value, and they could be it.
But like, is paying $9,200 for a guy named Hayden Buckley and JJ Spawn? Is that a smart decision? I know it's a weak field, so $9,200 isn't much, but like,
no, because you can pay $500 less and play Taylor Moore and Matthew Neesmith, or $600 less and play Brennan Todd. Like it,
yeah,
that feels a little steep, especially when I can play Kitayama and Montgomery at 91. So 92 just feels outrageous for those two.
Well, I think this is a great point from a lineup construction standpoint, because it's a weird event altogether, and it's such a top heavy field that from DFS cash game, I don't know how you don't go to the top of the board and then just hope to get it right down low.
Yep.
When, like I said, I bet Buckley and Spawn. I think they were at 37-1, like 16th on the betting market, which their price is higher than. So maybe if you're looking at a way to get a little different from a GPP pivot, because I think what you guys are saying is right. I think they're not going to be owned. That might be a decent place to look. But you look at a lot of these groups, like in the pricing is just weird to me. Like Matt Fitzpatrick, Alex Fitzpatrick, we talked about. I mean, Alex, he actually has, if you listen to Rick Rungood, has pretty good stroke gain data from a little bit of, he's played on the European tour, but he doesn't have a membership card anywhere.
Yeah.
So he's not going to have much behind it. But if you are just trying to draft off someone, like, would you rather have Matt Fitzpatrick after he played last week, played well, or at $8,200, or Sam Ryder and Doc Redman at 83? So maybe you just want plant your flag with the one guy and hopefully Alex can not mess up on the out shot.
Matt can obviously go out there and shoot 64 or 63, and then if Alex chips in 2 birdies, like that's a pretty good 4-ball. And so it's you don't need him to do much, assuming that your horse is going to be your horse. But any other thoughts on plays, Jordan? Anyone that you got your eye on?
I was just gonna go with some cheapy options. I saw it down towards the bottom. Now I need to find it. Even like, Scott Stallings, Trey Mullinax, getting a little bit of MPI love. Only 7,400. Right, that's like you guys talked about. If you kind of need to go expensive to start, well, you're gonna have to play a few teams in the 7,000s and 6,000s if you're going a couple in the 9 and 10s.
Yeah, the 6,000 range is pretty scruffy.
Yeah. Even I saw like Tom Hoagie at 8,800 with Harris English. Not bad, but $8,800 it's a weird event. It's all around a weird event. But
Well,
throw your
let
darts.
me
and
give
hope
you a
hit.
chance then to have a cheapie under your banner in the name game, because we have some cheap teams in the name game that I think you might want to choose. Jordan, you got the win last week. You weren't even on the show. We picked Canadians. We picked Canadians for the RBC Heritage Classic, and
Wait, who won the week before? Who won the Masters?
I don't remember. No, I do remember. Hold on a second. I was like, I deleted it. The Masters was won by.
I remember I picked Spieth. I picked Team Jordan, which I don't think
It was it was Jordan again. So you've won 2 in a row.
Oh shit!
Yep, you've won 2 in a row.
Gosh. Okay.
So this week, obviously, there was a lot of let's see. Kyle, I actually finished in last with Mackenzie Hughes this week. Kyle, you had Taylor Pendrith. We both missed the cut. The listeners had Corey Connors scoring 69 points and Adam Svensson scoring 69.5 points. Jordan, that was your guy.
Ooh.
Very close. So this week at the Zurich Classic, obviously it's a team game. There's a lot made about the Dodgers jersey that Morikawa and Homa got, custom made, and it said Homakawa on it. So I know I heard Rick Rungood say he bought a few of these and try to give a few away as prizes this week. So that got Kyle and I kind of collaborated on this, and that got us thinking of what are some other names that you could throw that you could kind of combine to create some good jerseys. And so there are 4 teams, all between $67 and $7,400, and you can pick for the name game Team Listlander. That's Luke List and Henrik Norlander. Team Strevey, Sam Stevens and Max McGreevy. Team Gerbelo, Tano Goya and Tyler Werbelow. And
what a great name combo.
Yep, and Team Stallinax, Scott Stallings and Trey Mullinax.
Which you just brought up that one, Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, so I got you guys. No one picked them, and I'll take them last.
Joseph Stallinax.
We're not letting Jordan go first. So Kyle, why don't you go first? You definitely need it.
Hey, I'm going Listlander. So Norlander and List, I told Mike this story before. They opened at like 130 to 1, and when some of the guys I wanted to go got a little low on the odds board, I was like, yeah, maybe I'll go fishing a little bit. They dropped from 130 to 70 overnight. I didn't bet it, but anyway, Team Listlander, let's go.
All right, you got Team Listlander. I will take Team Gerbelo. I think that the mouthful. Jordan, or does that mean you're taking Team Stallinax?
Yeah, for sure.
All right,
I mean,
listeners.
I think you left a little out because it could have just been Mullings, but.
Ooh. Stallinax, I said, sound like a nasal spray.
It does. It does. Clean me out.
All right, guys.
Who does that leave for the listeners?
It leaves Team Strevey, Sam Stevens, Max McGreevy.
Okay, so they can have Team Strevey, or tweet at us if you want us to change it, because we could give you, Team Duval, which is John Daly and David Duval, but if you really wanted to get crazy with 6,000, the Party Central team.
They are.
That's amazing. Well, how much do they cost?
$6,000.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
David Duval in DK, he's 4 for 4 in his last cut. 4 cuts.
What are those cuts?
Champions Tour, like the last 5 years, probably.
It is 4 straight Champions Tour events, where he finished 53rd, 31st, T67, and 42nd.
He should have gone to live. He really should have gone to live. Only 3 rounds. That would be perfect for him.
They don't take champions, guys.
I mean, they basically do. But, yeah.
Right. All right. Well, I guess I look forward to the golf a little bit this weekend. Maybe I'll tune in Sunday. It's an interesting format, and I will see how well the broadcast covers the actual team strategy of it. But hopefully, there's some drama down the stretch. Last year, I don't think. Last year, I think it might have got a little close for a bit, but Cantlay, Schauffele seem like the way Cantlay's playing. That just seems like it's a lock.
Sunday stuck. I remember Sunday last year distinctly. So there must have been something fun. I can't tell you what about it, but I can remember one specific shot that they hit. So yeah, I'll tune in at least Sunday. All shots fun.
All right. Well, with that, we will wrap things up. Of course, you can find our content on our YouTube channel, Reading the Green, Twitter at RTG Podcast DFS, and every major podcast platform. We'll be back in a week to talk about the results of the Zurich Classic and preview the Mexico Open. See ya.
I was scrolling here.